on Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Every year we make resolutions to lose weight and get in shape. And the truth is, it's hard, even with diet and exercise, because of toxic food in our environment that is stressing our bodies more than ever before. Working with experts in nutrition and biochemistry, I found that super high-quality nutraceuticals, in addition to my diet and exercise, were the answers that synergistically worked. I can see the drastic changes every day with the amount of weight I've lost, my increased stamina, and more of a twinkle in my eye. That's why we are now so excited to launch the InfoWars Life Resolution Pack, combining 3 essential formulations: oxygen-based cleanser Oxy Powder, the Secret 12 bioavailable vitamin B12, and your choice of super female or super male vitality. Now all available at a discounted price to you and your family to bring in the new year and make 2015 a true success. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. 2015 is the year to do it, and it all starts at InfoWarsLife.com. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Several months back, I started taking your Nason iodine and your Super Male. Prior to this, I was barely walking. Now I'm able to function as a human again.
InfoWarsLife.com. You've heard the callers to the show.
Your products are great. I use DNA Force. I use XQ, Super Male Vitality, and Lung Cleanse. Every day, they're great stuff.
Whether it's Survival Shield, Nason Iodine, or DNA Force, Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, Lung Cleanse, Fluoride Shield, Oxy Powder, I believe that all of these products will blow you away like they've done the thousands of other customers that have visited InfoWarsLife.com.
That's true. Just amazing what it's able to do to actually detox the body. It's great stuff.
Check out InfoWarsLife.com today and the entire line of groundbreaking, cutting-edge, hardcore products.
As a community moves towards despotism, respect is restricted to fewer people.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
Wow, we just had a little 3-second glitch. I would imagine more of that an hour and a half into our first broadcast. We've done the nightly news for 6 months out of here or longer, but our first broadcast out of the new studio, one tiny glitch. I mean, I think folks are tuning in to see a train wreck. I don't know if they're going to get to see that today. Great job on the crew and the studio and everything else. Really exciting. I want to thank all the listeners out there for, of course, making this entire transmission possible as well. Dr. Group is our guest here in studio. If you're a TV viewer, I want to direct you to this article. I'll also read it for radio listeners. Flu vaccine protects against wrong strain. U.S. health officials warn. That was a few weeks ago in the London Guardian, December 4th, or so I guess over a month ago. The point is, I didn't just say that earlier. That's admitted. They do this every year. And then I'll be at the health club in the steam room, and some old guy was like, yeah, I've been sick. I got the flu. You better get your flu shot. These people not getting it, give it to everybody. And I went to the old guy, this was like a week ago. I joined a health club, and I looked at him and I said, do you know who I am, don't you? And he goes, yeah, I know who you are. And I was just like, well, wait a minute. So you get the flu shot every year? I do. And I'm sitting there and I go, well, but you got the flu and now you're kind of bitching at me as if I gave it to you. Because that's the line. You people that don't get vaccinated, that's in the news, you're causing everyone. Why? You didn't get vaccinated, so I got shingles. You didn't get vaccinated, so I got the flu. You didn't get vaccinated, so I got hepatitis when I got a blood transfusion or whatever. Hypothetical. If you've gotten it, it protects you, then me not getting it should not affect you, dum-dum. And then I was at a business deal, and I got on the elevator, and there was this mobile nurse with these two guys with her. And I said, oh, interesting, you're a mobile nurse. She looks at me, and she goes, this is about a month ago, get your flu shot. And I went, excuse me? And she goes, you heard me? Everybody needs to get it. It's an imperative. And then I've been in a Walgreens and heard them barking it. And just, I was in the gym, the same gym, but not in the steam room. And this guy walks behind me when I'm on the elliptical and goes, everybody needs to get their flu shots. Now, he obviously knew who I was. So people know who I am, so they're barking at me. But I've talked to other people who aren't public figures. They're being barked at. So we went to record lows getting flu vaccine, actually, during the whole H1N1 thing 6 years ago, 5 years ago, because the public really didn't trust them. Stuff had been coming out about it. But then, since then, they have, it's got to be triple the amount of ads, the amount of people that get incentives to give the shots, free shots when you go in CVS, you know, $100 sometimes when you go in this clinic or that clinic. It's being pushed at gas stations. It says, get a flu shot. And they got nurses everywhere. So record level, and then we have record flu, and they admit doesn't even protect you. This shows the total hoax. This shows how insane it is. But before you get back into the medical evidence and why it's giving rise to these mystery illnesses and what's happening, Dr. Group, you're a healthcare provider. You have a lot of sources. Have you experienced what I just mentioned? Have you heard about it? What is going on with this huge push, this mind control that has bullied people into getting the flu shot?
It's all about profit, because 10 years ago, we never had signs in Walgreens and CVS. I mean, they didn't even have flu shots available there. So it's a big push because the big pharmaceutical companies and the manufacturers, it goes deeper than just the manufacturers of the vaccines. It goes the flu shot and then what to take for the flu shot. So you have to link the flu shot profits with the antiviral profits with Tamiflu and some of the other ones that are out there.
And it's about creating medical tyranny down the road. They're just preparing you that this is something you must do.
There's no doctor's visit and there's no need for a prescription. They've authorized it so anybody behind the counter at Walgreens or anybody else can give you the flu shot. It's all about money, because they know that every single year they can get 300 million doses to children, to pregnant women, to everybody else. Out of those 300 million doses, they're also going to get massive side effects: Guillain-Barré syndrome, neurological disorders, problems with children. They're going to get excessive prescription medication renewals and doctor's visits off of that, and they're going to be able to get the money from the Tamiflu and all the other things that they're going to prescribe it for.
And we have newscast after newscast, and we did a special report last week that Rob Dew put together, where it shows local news going, this little 8-year-old took the shot and was dead 2 days later. We don't know why it didn't protect her. They don't go the rest of the way. All these kids take the shot and are dead 2 days or a week later, and no one's saying we think the flu shot did it.
Anytime that you have a government that passes a bill saying that the vaccine manufacturers are not going to be liable for any damages caused by the vaccine, that should make your hair stand up, because that just means that there is something wrong with it, and that means that there's going to be massive injury created. They're even working on, for next year's flu vaccine, nanoparticles that can be activated by electromagnetic frequencies.
Now let's stop right there. That was in the BBC just last week. We can pull that up. They call it vaccines, which is a small amount of smallpox, and then you defeat it when you're healthy. You don't get sick when you're unhealthy, so you don't die. Again, take it. The 500-year-old theory, for those that don't know, is you take what's bad, a little bit of it, when you're healthy, so that you have a chance to beat it and then get the immunity. But now the whole science of vaccines is nanotech, live viruses, you name it, that literally change the brain so you're, quote, never stressed again, or nanotech that change your body. This is science fiction. This is just government injecting stuff in you to change you. Oh, the troops won't be depressed anymore. I knew about that 10 years ago. People didn't believe me. The last 5 years, it's in the news. They're now giving troops these shots where they won't be depressed. they're the ones that go kill themselves because it's a lobotomy, basically, Dr. Grip. I'm ranting. Go ahead.
No, you're exactly right. We've talked about how many chemicals that people are exposed to through the food and the water and everything else, and there's a lot of different modes of attack. The nanoparticles, the scary thing about it is these could actually be activated with a smart meter. I mean, if you look at the big picture, you have all the smart meters on your homes. They could be activated with cell
They're now
phones.
putting chips in a lot of the new meds coming out that you ingest. I mean, you can see the plan.
They're putting cell phone towers on top of schools right now. I mean, that's just insane with all the children being exposed to high levels of electromagnetic radiation. They're subsidizing the schools even more. So when you link it all together and you look at how they cause the flu by injecting the flu vaccine, how they use strains that such as the H1N1, which back in 2009, when the UK government spent $500 million stockpiling Tamiflu, and the U.S. government spent $1.3 billion stockpiling Tamiflu. That was 5 years ago. If you trace it back to the FDA and the emergency epidemic or pandemic report that they put around, that they extended the expiration date on Tamiflu and some of the other antivirals for 5 years, what's 5 years from 2009? 2014. That's right where we are right now. So why did they put the H1N1 in the 2014-2015 flu shot? It makes you wonder if you go back and you look at this trail. But not only are you damaged from the flu shot, let's say you go to the doctor and you take Tamiflu. Well, there was a doctor in Salt Lake City, Dr. Peter Silas, back in 2009 when the bird flu hit, that was one of the leading prescribers of Tamiflu. And he noticed severe effects with the children that he was prescribing it to. Aggression, severe anger. One kid actually pushed his brother down the stairs and almost killed him because he was on Tamiflu. Violence, extreme hallucinations, mental illness, vomiting.
Well, they found the same thing in England, and we've been putting the headlines on the screen for radio listeners that even government reports admitted it's basically a worthless drug. It's all worthless. Right. The shots are worthless. The Tamiflu is worthless, except it'll give you Alzheimer's, and it'll make your kids be deformed. I mean, and they know all this. They know it. It's sick.
Well, one of the ways that nobody knows that the pharmaceutical companies cause different things with prescription medications is the fillers and the things that they hide, the dangerous substances they hide in the pills. Let's say you have an antibiotic, or let's say with Tamiflu or something like that, it might be a 1,000 milligram capsule. You might only have 5 milligrams of the actual ingredient that they're putting in there. For example, with Tamiflu, they have FD&C blue number 2 in there, which causes brain cancer, abnormal cell growth, hyperactivity. They have titanium dioxide, which is now being linked to fibromyalgia type symptoms. All the people that think they have muscle pain, fibromyalgia is linked to titanium dioxide. They have sorbitol, benzoate. They even have sodium saccharin sodium, propylene glycol. All of
that's antifreeze.
That are in.
Isn't propylene glycol antifreeze?
Antifreeze. So they put all.
Now wait a minute. You're claiming antifreeze isn't good for me because CBS News says mercury's good for children. Then you would think antifreeze is good. Aren't you supposed to give antifreeze to your cat or dog in their water bowl?
If they're outside to keep their body temperature from freezing, yeah.
So we should do what the government says, not be conspiracy theories, and we should all start drinking antifreeze, right? Of course, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah. It will cause kidney failure and kill you. People use antifreeze to murder their spouses. Folks, this is insane. Say that again. Antifreeze is in it.
Antifreeze, titanium. I'm just reading off of a few here. There's propylene glycol, red 40, blue 1, blue number 2, artificial flavoring, which is most likely MSG. And by the way, the flu shots actually, some flu shots this year actually contain MSG. Sorbitol, monosodium citrate.
They use that as a brain adjuvant.
So
they're putting in here what we know will jack you up.
Yes, and they're putting a lot of it in there.
Don't like government? Have a brain damage shot. We only gave the black people syphilis. Take the shot. Oh, you're having a convulsion. Trust us. Don't run. We're your friends. We come in peace.
How many people do you know that actually look up the ingredients in one of the prescription medications before they take it?
If aliens landed and said that they want to work with humans and they were going to give us all this great medical technology, and then we saw our cancer rates quadruple, and we saw our neurological disorders more than quadruple, and deformities increase, we would say the aliens are jacking with us. But our own government's doing it, and we just go, oh, we love you.